Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 41 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. As you guys can see, today we are over by a bunch of pens filled with animals. I went ahead and, between pretty much last episode and this one, I went ahead and put together another feed box for our pigs. They appear to like carrots, so I haven't actually tried potatoes. They might also like potatoes, but they definitely do not like wheat. Mostly because, as you can probably tell from the soul shards on my bar, I'm working on getting spawners for animals. And my cow one's almost done, my pig one's pretty far away, my chicken one is even further away. So basically, I want to spend this episode setting up some automatic animal farming, because I want to be able to set this and just sort of ignore it. Um, and well, the feed boxes are fine. But I wanted to do something a little more different and fun with the chickens. So, yeah. So, why don't I go ahead and grab a few things, and I'll meet you guys back in the factory, and we'll get this thing started. Alright, I'm back, and you guys can see I'm here at the crafting table, so we're going to put together a couple things. The first thing we're going to do is a repeater, and this is not the vanilla repeater, this is from Red Power. Realistically, I'm pretty sure they both provide the same function, but I kind of like the Red Power repeater, so that's what we're going to use. We're also going to put together a bunch of transposers and an item detector, and you guys will see once we get this whole thing together just exactly why we need all this stuff. So I'm just going to grab a bit of wood and some redstone so that we can get this stuff made. Nothing too complicated. And of course it's night. Let me sleep through the night real quick because we need to check to see how many transposers we want to make. Alright, now I've done this build before, but I only did a couple transposers sort of scattered and it wasn't very perfect. I'm also worried about the chickens falling through them, so I'm going to try to do it this way, and then if it doesn't work out we can always pare down our transposers, and it won't be too much of a waste because those things are generally useful. So we have 5 by 5, so that should be 25 transposers to get the entire floor of that chicken coop covered. Sounds like a lot, I know, but we're just doing a fun, random, big build just for the sake of doing it. I just felt like doing something a little bit different, and this came to mind, mostly because I definitely want to get some crazy food generation done, and to do that we're going to need lots of chickens and lots of cows and lots of pigs. If you know what I'm sort of thinking of, then kudos to you. You guys might know what I'm going for, but those of you who don't, well, I think I'm just going to leave it as a surprise for now because I think it's going to be a cool build. So let's see, we're at 4 more. Sounds like a lot, I know, but really all we used was cobble and wood in any great abundance. Alright, so transposer, we're going to need, obviously, as many of these as we can, which means we're going to need more cobble. Never hurts to use up our cobble. We have like 1,000 stacks of cobble, so. See, we need 10 more. We're getting there. Problem is cobble. Using a lot of it for this. You know, if we're going to use any sort of resource, why not cobble? There we go. Put that in there, and we're ready for our item detector. Now, if you recall, this is going to take just a bit of redstone pneumatic. I keep calling these redstone pneumatic tubes. They're really not. Red power pneumatic tubes. Yes. So let's see here. We're going to need a bit of copper, mostly because we're going to make ourselves some bronze, or rather brass, because we have 8, but I like to try to stay ahead of it. So put that there, and we're also going to need a pressure plate, which of course we also then need a couple wood, which I don't have on me. It's just my way, isn't it? Alright, so that should do it. Item detector. Cool. So we should have everything we need. I think this is going to be kind of a simple build, but it's going to be really cool when it works. Where am I? There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just get some brass cooking while I'm busy with other stuff. And I'll get rid of all this stuff that I pulled out of here. Alright, so let's pop over back to our chickens and start putting this together. Oh wait, there's one other thing I forgot to make. The whole point of this system. We have an item detector, so obviously we're going to be detecting when items are flowing through a pipe and emitting a redstone signal. That's what the item detector does. And we also have transposers, which are going to pick up items. You guys might be able to guess what I'm up to. That's right, dispenser. Now there might actually be a better way to do this, but this seemed the simplest and most straightforward way to do this, so I decided to go with it. So we're just going to make ourselves a bow. Pretty simple. Whoop, didn't need that much, but. So bow, bit of redstone, surrounded by cobble. Will give us a dispenser. Pretty simple little vanilla Minecraft item, but very, very cool. So basically what we're going to have this thing do is collect up all the eggs and then shoot them at the ground, hopefully making more chickens. Like I said, going to be a fairly simple system, but I think it'll work, and we're going to find out right now. Of course, I should probably put on my lap pack so we have plenty of power. Now, we're going to have a little bit of problems getting the transposers on here without chickens freaking out, so I'm going to do that one by one. Basically, we're just going to be placing down transposers all along the ground here. We might be able to get away with just this, but then I'm worried that eggs are just going to get caught on the sides. The transposers are supposed to be able to pick up things sort of in a radius around it, but sometimes it doesn't really work. And of course the chickens they don't really like being inside our transposers, so I might just bite the proverbial bullet and just put down this many so we don't get a bunch of chickens flopping around not being able to stand, because I'm pretty sure that them falling through the transposer is purely graphical. You know, I was gonna do transposers in every single one of these spots, but now I'm kind of thinking with the amount of chicken clipping through a transposer, kind of thinking maybe not. You can already see the idea is that the eggs will pop out and land on a transposer. Well, let's just do this and we'll test it out. Like I said, if I don't like it, I can always remove these later. It's gonna look pretty funny, but I'm pretty sure the chickens are not actually falling through these things. It's just purely a graphical thing. And I knew that was going to happen. We're going to start having chickens falling down into transposers, and it's going to be messy. So much clucking. So incredibly much clucking. Oh, chickens going all over the place. Get out of there. There we go. Alright, so yeah. Looks crazy, right? What are we doing? We're gonna have all the chickens. That's the plan, at least. So now I just want to hook up an automatic system for basically for turning these eggs into chickens, just firing the eggs back into the pen. And I'm actually not sure if we want to do one just facing down the transposers. I'm a little worried about how that will interact. So I'm thinking maybe on the side here, put our dispenser, and that will basically fire the chicken across into the other side of the pen. There we go. And of course we want to flip that around because we don't want that facing that way. That would fire chickens that direction. We want it this way. And we're going to have a small problem. So let's put you there. And that should stop them from going over, maybe? Try to put our chickens back in the pen. Probably want to get a couple more fences because alright, come on chicken. Let's go. Back in the pen where you belong. Why is there sheep in there? Come on sheep. Get out of there. Alright, I'm gonna grab a few more fences then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and you can see I just put a couple more bit of fence there just to make sure our chickens don't get out. And now we're just gonna basically dig underneath here and so that we can hook up our tubes. And let's see. I'm gonna need to go one down, I think. Yes. And it's gonna look like the chickens are clipping through, but they aren't. It's just eggs that are gonna come through. Purely should be a graphical bug there. I know it looks weird. It's a little strange. Not the most perfect system, but you know what? I don't care. It's gonna work. I promise you it's gonna work. So there we go. Pretty simple. We just have a bunch of chickens falling through the world. Cool. Alright, so basically now all we need to do is hook up some pneumatic tubes. For some reason some of these are not stacking. Basically all along here. That way when the eggs fall into the transposers they'll have somewhere to go. And the place they're going to go is toward our dispenser. That way, as the eggs fall into the system, the dispenser will be able to basically just throw them. And then that should break them and hopefully turn them into chicks, which will give us more chickens over time. Right? Should work. So we should just be able to, I don't actually want to run this right up into the bottom of it, and it's going to be a little visible, but the reason is I don't have I could just get a cover, I guess, but I definitely want to make sure I've got enough room as well for our item detector, because we're going to detect when items are flowing through these. So let's just throw that down. Of course, that's probably not the direction it's going to face. Let's just put a bit of pneumatic tubing here. And then we'll basically just need to flip this thing around until eggs flow through the item detector and up into our dispenser. Hopefully we can get it to work. Alright, let's do some testing here. Never sure quite which direction this wants to face. I think like all the other ones you want to have the sort of the end that has like the cap on it facing that way. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Definitely have items in here. That should be fine. Where's our screwdriver? Is that chicken actually there, or what's going on with him? There we go. Yeah, cool. And that sends the egg in the dispenser. And obviously, there's nothing dictating when this is actually going to fire the egg. So now that's what we need the repeater for and the item detector for. Because basically, the item detector is going to detect when an item goes through, and then the repeater will give us a little bit of a delay for sorry, my brain just died. The repeater will give us a little bit of delay between when the item passes through the item detector and has time to make it into the dispenser. So I'm pretty much just gonna give this thing a test because obviously we have to definitely work out some kind of system for getting this thing connected, and sometimes these gates can be a little bit finicky. So we should get an egg coming through here at some point. I'm just gonna watch. Actually, let's just watch our item detector. Okay, that works. And then we just need to hook it up. So I'm gonna grab probably a bit of wiring and some jacketed wiring, and I'll be back. Alright, before we get any further, I actually want to test out our dispenser because well, I'm just the kind of guy I like to test stuff. So I'm just going to break this real quick. We already have some eggs in there because they've been flowing through, and I'm just going to slap a lever on there and see what happens. Definitely want to make sure that it's firing sort of straight, because if it doesn't, we're kind of hitting chickens at the moment, but I actually cannot figure out if the eggs are breaking. That's interesting. Alright, well, let's just throw a bunch of eggs in and keep looking for chicks, because we shouldn't have a single chick in here. Okay. We're hitting our cow, but I'm pretty sure... Yeah, okay, it works. It's just, I have to wait a little bit. Cool. So yeah, that's going to work pretty good, I think. It's either going to slam into a chicken before that, or it's going to slam into that fence wall, which is exactly what I want. So we'll put that back there. And the stuff will start flowing. So, obviously this is going to be a little crazy while we're getting it set up, and not going to automatically fire any of these eggs we're getting now, but hopefully that will work itself out by the time we're done here. So, I actually think probably one of the best things we could do is hook up convert a bit of this into redstone tubing. And this time I actually do mean redstone tubing. Of course I don't have any redstone on me. It is loud back there. I don't know if you guys noticed. I turned down my volume just a little bit because I knew that we were going to be dealing with a bunch of loud animals for this episode, so hopefully it's not driving you guys too crazy. I don't want to drive my viewers completely insane. Just a little bit insane is fine, but completely, probably not. So let's get this thing hooked up, and it should just be able to take our jacketed wiring. Whoop. I'm not sure why that flew all over the place. We should just be able to take our jacketed wiring and hook it up like so. And let's see what happens. We've got a bunch of eggs sitting in here. Let's just test it out. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's actually how it's supposed to work, but obviously the repeater is set too fast, so we're going to fix that. Basically setting a little bit of a delay on it. I'm going to pull the eggs out, and we're going to just hurl them onto the ground. There we go. Alright, it's obviously not made to be able to handle all of this, which means we might just have to rethink how we're going to do this a little bit. Come on. It's a little bit long. Come on, get down there. Whoop. It's not what I meant to do. Get you flip back around. Like so. And course, it's turning night. Let me sleep through the night. Alright. Let's give this one more test here. Actually, looks like chicken already dropped an egg in. Little bit of a problem. I'm thinking we're going to have to come up with something else with this repeater, because even though I like it in general, if more than one egg comes through this thing, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Which means we're probably going to have to go some kind of timer route. Yeah, let me, actually I think we have a timer in here, so let me grab that and test around a little bit with it, and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I made myself one of these state cells, and you guys can see the recipe here. Just requires a cathode, pointer, pretty much a lot of stuff that we're used to, and a silicon chip, which is just some stone wafers with a red dope wafer on top. So yeah, so I think this will actually do the trick of what we want it to do. So let's slap it down, and then we're going to have to turn it and reorient. It should be like this. You can see when our timer ticks, it's going to basically set that. Now what that means is we really don't need the item detector, and that's kind of... Actually, let's see if we can just do this just with a state cell. That would be good. Let's give that a try. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's still going to be a little bit of a problem because this just isn't going to stay on long enough. I wanted to really do this to set it up so that it would only work when there are things flowing through. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, we still have... Actually... Okay, let me think about this a little more. I definitely want to try to get this to work with the item detector. Alright, so I think I've got this thing figured out. We went ahead and got rid of the timer because it was ticking too fast for the dispenser to keep up. But basically the way the system is set up now, it should be firing off the dispenser about 2 times for every egg that passes through the item detector. So I also added in basically some grading here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that, because it looks like some of the eggs are... It seems to be helping the chickens stay out of the transposers somewhat, but it's also looks like it's also blocking some of the eggs from getting caught by the transposer. So I don't know. I might remove that. I might not. We'll see. So I actually have an idea of how I can fix it, but I think I'll just do that off camera. So anyway, basically the way these gates are set up, we've got a NOT gate, so basically the system will not run unless things are coming through the item detector. And when something does pass through the item detector, the NOT gate will turn off, which will cause the repeater to start its tick time, which will go until basically that's done. Actually, you guys can see it. When it's done, it'll tick the state cell, and that will fire off this whole system. So, looks a little complex, and I'm sure there's more elegant ways to do this, but this worked for me, so why mess with it when it's, when it's working? So I'm just going to cover it up, and yeah, this thing is pretty much done. So I called down our cow herd as well, and you guys can see we've got a tier 5 shard for cows, and pigs are next. You can see little piglets are, well, they appear to be going all over the place right now. But I saved 6 cows for something else I have in mind later. So basically I'm just going to let this stuff go. I'm probably going to call a little bit of the pig herd, and then we're probably getting pretty close to the point where we need to call this episode. But yeah, there's one thing that I think I want to do before we call it. So why don't I clear up some of our pigs, clear up some of our inventory, and then I will meet you guys back in just a minute. Alright, so we're in our bee house, and I'm moving our squeezer over because instead of just running, a little bit of honey into this thing, I want to basically have honey moving into this tank here that I put together, and then we can put it into our analyzer. So I'm pretty much just going to be sort of moving some things around and adjusting how some of this works, and that's going to be a little bit complicated, but hopefully I can get this put together before the end of this episode. We're pretty close, and we might run a little long, but that's okay. So first things first, I want to go ahead and get our valve placed. Oh no. Dang it. That's what I was afraid of. I didn't want to have to break all that again, but where did our... There it is. Okay, so valve right here should do the trick, and then we can just run our liquid ducts out, like so. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where this is going to come out. Probably below. We want to make sure it's low, otherwise it won't be able to pull honey for us. So, okay, you can see I've pretty much dug out that entire wall just so that I could see. So basically we've got a line for our honey to go down. That's not too big a deal. We'll have to set up a lever or something there, probably here, I'm thinking. The next thing we need to do is grab, I'm going to get this propolis put away. There we go. Grab thinking one of each. We've got plenty of this, and we can always remove stuff later if we want. Basically, I'm just going to go right down here, and we're going to basically just siphon off some of our materials right off this pipe. So I'm going to replace this with a diamond pipe, and of course something would fly through just at that moment, right? So I'm going to put our golden pipe here, and then we're going to tell red to be honeydew and honey. Cool. That way this stuff will all go this way where it'll get processed in the squeezer. So now all we need to do is set up our line over here. And of course this is going to be a little bit pesky. It might be worthwhile to do an iron pipe here, and then where's our stone piping? Basically just run it like so. I'm going to put a gold pipe in. This is going to be a little bit convoluted because of how crazy it is back here. And now we want to run it out and then up. There we go. Like I said, a little bit crazy, but I think it works. And I'm actually going to go ahead and replace this with a gold pipe, just to make sure things are staying at top speed. So this should be all we need. We should just be able to, anything else should be able to go down the black path, because only honey is going to go this way and into our squeezer. Cool. So let's pop up here and make sure that this is all going the right direction. There we go. So nothing should be able to go left or right here. Basically this, I don't really like this, but hey. If I recall, we could also do a sand pipe that should keep it from going in, but I might replace it with a sand pipe. What would we need for that? I think, yeah, the sandstone pipe. We would need a couple sandstone. Actually, let me grab some sandstone and we'll try that out. Alright, here we go. Got ourselves some sandstone pipes. We're just gonna test this out. Definitely got... I've been trying to breed some purebred ocean bees, but they keep ending up with turning into a noble princess, so I'm gonna keep that going off camera. Been just generally getting bees done. I've also breeded rural bees, which are very cool. They produce combs which give us wheat, which is not necessarily needed, but I'm mostly looking to upgrade those because they have really good pollination. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. That's much, much better. There's actually tons of ways we could use this to good effect. Really, we probably don't even need this pipe here anymore. Yeah, because we were only having that stuff come through there. So luckily, now that we've removed this machine, let's just remove that whole thing. And we'll put a stone transport pipe there. Cool. That's looking better. Okay, so we got stuff coming up in here into the squeezer. That's good. It should be honey and the honey drops. So hopefully we'll get some in here at some point and be able to see that. So the next thing we really just need to do is hook up our honey line. Can remove this now. Actually, that's really good that we can remove that. It saves us a ton of room. So yeah, the only thing we really need to do is hook up a valve over here. I'm thinking probably in the ground here. About right here. There we go. And we'll just hook up our aqueducts. Like so. Obviously, we might need a few more, but I'm kind of hoping we can get away with what we've got. I'm also kind of trying to look back here and see what our situation with our piping is, because if we could make a bit of adjustment to this, that would be great. Yeah, let's alright. I think I have an idea. I think, but it's going to require digging into the wall just a little bit. So right now, we could maybe run our wooden pipe. I'm worried about it connecting there, so yeah. Let's move this though. We can definitely move this. And we could probably just use the stone transport pipes if we do this. Wait, constantly having problems here. Can't put a pipe here because then those will connect and we don't want those to connect. So we're basically going to run this. Again, a little convoluted, but it's for the best, I think. Where's our... There we go. And of course I am trapped. Constantly getting myself trapped in places. Alright, so this goes here. Then this pipe will basically run... See, now I'm looking at it and I'm not liking it. Alright, let me, because I need some more cobblestone pipes, I think. Let me get some cobblestone pipes and I'll be back. Alright, so I think I've got this worked out. You guys can hopefully see. Basically, I didn't end up needing the cobblestone pipes at all. We just basically ran this line straight down and connected it directly. I've also got some liquiducts put down. That's coming into the back of our thing here. And basically running down and under all this mess. It looks pretty convoluted. Once again, we have a gigantic jumble of wiring, but when we cover it up, we won't even notice it. So yeah, there we go. So we should just have to slap a lever on here, which don't really want to do a lever here. I'd rather do a redstone torch, but I don't have any wood. Do we have any up here? We have some sticks. That's even better. And we'll just put those in there for now. I'll have to clean all this up later anyway. So basically we're just going to dig down, stick that on there, and that should make sure that everything is flowing out of our tank here and over to there. Cool. We could probably set some on-off switch later, but yeah, that'll have to wait. Should have everything going through. I think we had a bit of honey fly through here a minute ago. Yeah. So the only thing we really need to do here is... I have no idea where this coal came from. Oh wait, we just dug it up. Derp. Derp, derp, derp. Alright, so flip that, and we should get honey flowing. Cool. And that should go down into the tank. Awesome. So now that this is all done, I'm pretty sure we're quite a little bit past the point where we need to call this episode. Is this not flowing? What's going on here? Oh no, it is flowing. It just went ahead through there and into our analyzer here. Cool. So we can just slap all this off, get rid of this lever, cover all this up. So yeah, I'm going to do that pretty much off camera between this episode and next. So yeah, we are past the point where we need to call this one though. So yeah, this has been Season 2, Episode 41 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and catch you guys later.